Today on How to Crochet, we're going to learn how to make a magic circle with no hole in the middle, like these two samples here. Just like this. Create one today here on GoodKnit Kisses. We're going to make the magic circle, and bonus, we're going to make this entire circle brought to you by the thank you note blanket, and these are appliques that are sewn right onto it that look like punched holes on top of a notebook paper looking blanket. So we're going to begin with the magic circle, and that makes a circle right in the middle instead of working with some chains and connecting them together, which kind of makes a big hole. This one closes it up. So that's what we're going to do right here today on GoodKnit Kisses. Okay, you're going to grab your hook and your yarn and a stitch marker. I'm using a locking stitch marker. It helps keep your place. The locking stitch marker isn't needed to actually start the magic ring. I'm going to show you the magic ring, and then I'll do a slow motion demonstrating it one more time, and then we'll go right into actually making a full circle. And you can use whatever main stitches you want in yours. I'm going to be working with the HDC or half double crochet. All right, so you're going to grab your yarn and hold it in the palm of your hand with the tail towards you. And we're going to wrap it around our first two fingers in an X shape. So we're going to wrap it around once, and then when we go over the top, it's going to look like an X. And I'm just going to grab it with my last two fingers here, just kind of holding it taut, or you can go underneath, whatever one is easier for you. Okay, so holding it here, we're just going to take our hook and go in between our fingers and kind of pull up, and then we're going to lift up this bottom one. And now we can pull on the top one down underneath that one that was on the bottom. So it makes a little bit of a loop here. And now we just want to chain with that loop here. So we're just going to come back here to the back where we're holding the rest of our working yarn and just yarn over and pull through, and that makes one little chain. Okay. And now we can let go, and you have this nice loop sitting right here. We want to do one more chain, and that is the start of our magic loop, and we're ready to begin our main pattern. So let's do that one more time. Hold the yarn in the palm of your hand, wrap it around your two fingers in an X shape, hold on to the back. Insert your hook under the bottom, lift up the bottom, grab the top, pull it, making a loop, yarn over with your working yarn, making a chain, let go, hold open the loop, and with the working yarn, make one more chain. And you can also slow down your video as well. And now we're ready to begin our pattern for the circle. We're using half double crochet or HDC. We're going to yarn over, insert into the loop, yarn over and pull up a stitch, and now we're going to yarn over and pull through all three. That's one HDC. We're going to make 7 more, so total of 8. We're not counting these first 2 chains in our stitch. Yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through all 3. That's 2. I made 3. And now we'll make 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8. And as I'm going, you notice that this little tail has just been trapped alongside in here. And this is where the magic happens. You'll take that tail and pull on it. And I like to hold that last stitch that I worked steady, pull on it tight, and now you can go to the very first stitch, go through both of those. Let's go through that little V-shaped stitch for the chain, yarn over and pull through the stitch, and then pull through to slip. And you have your first round complete. And so now to continue this design, you're just going to chain 1. You've got 8 stitches on here. And now for round 2, we want to do 2 HDCs in each of these stitches all the way around to double our stitch count. In order to tell where our very beginning stitch was, let's do 1 in this first stitch here. So yarn over, insert into this first stitch, yarn over and pull up a stitch, yarn over and pull through all 3, and then we're going to put in a stitch marker here. So let's do that one more time. We've already chained 1. We're going to yarn over, insert into that first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all 3. Go ahead and mark that beginning. So this is the very first stitch, and I like to go through both sides of the stitch here. Go ahead and lock that in. And now we want to go through that stitch one more time because we're going to do 2 HDCs in each stitch. All right, so that's counted as 2. I'm going to go to the next one and do 2 and 2, and then go to the next one and continue. So keep working on that. Pause your video when you get to this stitch marker, and we will continue. Okay, so I've come all the way around. I've counted my stitches, and I now have 16. And so we're going to go right into where this stitch marker is and pull through, and we're going to slip that and take your stitch marker off. And now you can chain 1, and you're ready to begin round 3. Round 3 is 1 HDC in that first stitch. So it's 1. And then we're going to do 2 HDCs in the following stitch. So half double crochets, 2 of them in the next. Okay, and at the end of this round, we'll have 24 stitches. So if you want to kind of talk it to yourself, I do sort of like I'm doing a waltz. I'll do 1, and then the next one I'll say 2, 3. So this is a 2 and a 3. And then repeat 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and going all the way around until you have 24. And again, you can place your stitch marker in that very beginning stitch to make sure you remember where you were, and then we'll meet back up at that next one. If you don't remember, you can pull right back, all the way back to where you had that chain. Again, yarn over, insert into that stitch, yarn over, pull through, and that's the first one, and then mark the stitch like that. And it really makes that stitch easier to notice so you don't miss it. All right, pause your video and I will see you at the end. All right, so at the end of round 3, I want to connect and yarn over and pull through, slip that, and chain 1, and go ahead and do our 4th round, which is the last one. We're going to do 1 HDC in the first stitch and 1 HDC in the second stitch, half double. And then we're going to do 2 half doubles in the 3rd stitch. So you can say 1, 2, 3, 4 if you want to. You can count to 4s. And so we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, and then just keep going, and you want to make sure that you now have 32 stitches when you come to the end of this round. And again, use that stitch marker to keep track and keep going. So if you happen to be working on this project with me and you have all the right yarn and everything, then you're good to go. I know that I made my particular one a little bit smaller to scale, so I know that I actually don't need this size because I used a little bit bulkier yarn for my holes for my smaller scaled size, not the one that's the main large blanket. So I actually can stop here. So when you get to the end of the size that you want, if you want this big size or the little size, then you're going to, instead of chaining up, you just slip that stitch. Okay, so this is your final slip stitch here, and then you can pull out your tail. And you want to have it long enough to stitch into what you're using, or a small tail and stitch back into the side here. Go ahead and clip your yarn and pull it on through, and you're ready for whatever next step you have. I hope this has helped you today on making a magic circle and making your actual circle. Thanks for joining us today, where we help you stitch your love and love your stitches. See you again soon.